Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So I'm going to be taking you through a little before and after of our DIY tiling our backsplash today. So these are actually just a couple videos that I shot the first time that we went into our house to have a look around. This was the kitchen and the dining room, and then just a little before picture. So what there actually is for the backsplash is this kind of peel and stick, but it's individual tiles. And they're not like regular peel and stick. They were so adhesive. As you can see, they're taking off chunks of the drywall with it. I have basically like a small pry bar and a heat gun, and my mom came over to help me because it was such a big project. So we had to peel every single piece off. We're not too concerned about peeling the little bits off the back as far as the drywall goes, just because we are going to be tiling over it. But as you'll see a little later, I do fill in some of the bigger chunks and whatnot. But it was quite the project. We weren't expecting it to be quite so difficult to remove the old tile. So this was definitely a family DIY. As you can see, we have my dad over, and what he's actually doing is taking off part of our granite. So they had made a little lip at the back for like a little backsplash with the granite, but it is fairly thick, and I just like the look of the tile going all the way to the bottom. So what my dad's doing is he's cutting the silicone and the adhesive that they used to put it on. I believe it was actually basically just silicone, but he's cutting all of that off really gently. And then he's just going to pry it up a little bit, and we're actually going to remove those. We ended up deciding to get rid of them, and it was really weird, but just this like 1.5 inches of granite made such a difference. Our countertops, for whatever reason, felt a world bigger after this. So that was really nice that he was able to come and do that, and I think in the future we will do that in our bathrooms possibly as well, because we have the same little lip in the back of our countertops in our bathrooms too. So very thankful that my dad could come over and help do this because it was worth it. That night after my parents left, me and Jordan just got to work on patching a few of the bigger holes. You do need to patch some of them, especially if you had gone quite deep into the drywall. So we filled those, and then went through and sanded everything off that's loose, because you don't want to try and adhere your tile to pieces of drywall that are flaking off or pulling off. You want to make sure that it has a good clean surface to attach to. So we're just going through and patching all of those. And then the next thing I'm going to do is go through and prime the entire thing just to give it a nice clean background. It's the next morning now, and my sister is over, as you can see. So I'm very lucky because my sister is not only an interior designer, but she also does a lot of DIY projects, and well, she's basically my inspiration for a lot of things, as well as my constant consult whenever I have questions or anything like that. So she has a tile saw and everything, and she has done a ton of tiling herself. So she came over and we got to work. So first things first, we put up the Schluter, and then after we had that set in place, we were able to pour the adhesive and start the tiling. Tile that I ended up going with, I picked up from a local tile shop called Tile Ideal, and I just loved it. It has this really organic looking kind of feel to it, and it was just so beautiful. And I chose a dark grout just to give it a little bit of a pop, just so that you can really see some of the texture and stuff that comes out in it. I feel like you can really see it when it's all cleaned up here after we finished up the grout. So that's going to go ahead and conclude today's video. We got everything cleaned up and everything felt so fresh and so amazing after this. So very glad that we ended up doing this, and I'll see you all next week for another video.